Hazrat ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu states, for 1 year I nestled an intention to ask Hazrat Umar radiyallahu anhu about a verse, but could not ask the question because of awe of him. Once Hazrat Umar radiyallahu anhu went to perform Hajj and I also accompanied him. On the return journey, Hazrat Umar radiyallahu anhu went close the pillow tree for relieving himself, and I stood there waiting for him. When he came back, I moved along with him and said, O the believers' chief, who were those two of the Prophet's wives who supported each other against the Prophet? He said, they are Hazrat Hafsa and Aisha radiyallahu anhuma. I submitted, by Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, I nestled the wish to ask you about it for 1 year, but could not muster up courage on account of the awe of you. He said, do not do so. Ask me what you think. I know if I know it, I will tell you. Hazrat ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu says that Hazrat Umar radiyallahu anhu said, by Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, in the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, we would not give women any importance until Allah Jalla Jalaluhu issued commands in their connection and fixed their rights, which He Jalla Jalaluhu fixed. Once, while I was musing upon a matter of mine, my wife said to me, you should do it in this and this way. I said, what has happened to you? Why are you meddling in the affair which I am musing over? She replied, O Ibn Khattab, how strange of you! You do not wish to be answered back at all, whereas your daughter bandies words with Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam whereupon passes the whole day displeased with her. Hazrat Umar radiyallahu anhu said, hearing it, I took my sheet, exited my house until I reached Hazrat Hafsa radiyallahu anha and said, O daughter, do you bandy words with Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which keeps Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam displeased with you for the rest of the day? Hazrat Hafsa radiyallahu anha said, by Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, I answered him back in this way. I said, know it well that I alarm you against Allah's torment and the wrath of Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam. O my daughter, let not the matter of the one whose charms please Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam and who is the beloved of Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam deceive you. He meant Hazrat Aisha radiyallahu anha by it. Then I came out and visited Hazrat Salama radiyallahu anha on the basis of the bonds of kinship with her and talked to her the same matter. Hazrat Salama radiyallahu anha said to me, O Ibn Khattab, strangely enough, you meddle in all affairs and even go to meddle in the private matter of Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his wives. Hazrat Umar radiyallahu anhu said, she took me to ask in such a way as my fury melted away. So I came back from her. An Ansari was my friend. When I would absent myself from the court of Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would come and inform me of the proceedings. When he would be absent, I would apprise him of the proceedings. Those days we had an apprehension about an onslaught by one of the kings of Ghassan. We had been intimated that he wished to make an attack on us, so our hearts were filled with fear of him. One day my Ansari friend came, rapped the door, and said, open, open the door. I asked, has Ghassani attacked? He said, but it is something more critical than it. Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam has split with his wives. I said, may Hafsa's and Aisha's noses get dusty. I took my sheet, came out until I reached there, whereas Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his attic, where one can reach by a ladder, and the Negro slave of Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting on one rung of the ladder. I said, here is Umar, seek permission for me to enter. So I was accorded the permission. Hazrat Umar radiyallahu anhu said, I narrated this episode to Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When I narrated the reply of Hazrat Salama radiyallahu anha to him, Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave a smile. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam was lying on a mat with no sheet between the mat and his body, and a leather pillow stuffed with the bark of date palm under his head, and there was a heap of the leaves of acacia tree on the side of his feet, and a piece of raw leather was hanging on his head side. I saw impression of mat imprinted on his side, so I burst into tears. Allah's Apostle ﷺ said, "Why are you weeping?" I submitted, "O Allah's Apostle ﷺ, the Khusro and Qaisar are living opulently, whereas you are Allah's Apostle ﷺ." Allah's Apostle ﷺ said, "Are you not pleased with it, that the world must be for them, but the hereafter must be for us?" Sahih Muslim Hadees number 3676.